60 looters entered this shop and took as much as they possibly could. The police, I hasten to add, were watching this going on. They didn't take the tactical decision to go and stop it. Whether again it was because of the lack of numbers, I don't know. But they didn't move forward to stop it. Eventually they did, but it took between 10 and 15 minutes to do that.
And is there any word when we are going to be hearing from a police spokesman again?
I'd love to tell you that will be in 5 minutes. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't know. As I said, it's a Saturday night. Normally, they don't have that many administrative staff that work on briefing people on what's going on, working overnight. They may well have drafted people in. It's hard to know. What I can tell you is the statement that I read out slightly earlier on. It was a much earlier statement. They released that about an hour and a half ago, just saying they were aware that this was ongoing. Contacting the police here in the Leeds City Centre, all of our staff are trying to get in contact with them and ask them exactly what they know now and whether arrests have been made, whether they have a statement to give us, and hopefully as soon as we get that, I'll let you know.
Rupert Bartier, LBC correspondent, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Let's go to Wood Green and talk to Mina. Mina?
Hi.
Hello, Mina. What was your experience this evening?
Well, we were driving from Tottenham Road. We were trying to get to the North Circular, and I have to say it was quite a scary experience. We suddenly just happened upon this massive blazing fire coming out of the building. There was absolutely no one. There was no one stopping us from driving through. And we just suddenly came upon this fire and we kind of turned the car around. And there was no directions, nothing. We ended up in the back streets around the area, and there was a bunch of youth kind of on every street corner huddled together. It was quite an experience.
So, no, to be clear, you came across a building that was on fire, but there were no police around, there was no...
There was not a single member of police. There was quite a lot of the members of the public. There was a dumpster, kind of a commercial bin thing, turned over, and it was also blazing a bit, but the fire was absolutely massive. I saw no emergency services at all, not a fireman, not a policeman, nobody stopping cars driving right up to it. We were literally 20 yards from it, and we quickly turned the car around and drove back.
And were you part of like a large group of cars that were all driving in the same direction?
Yeah, I mean, well, we were kind of in the front because we were the first one to turn around, I think. But after us, there were cars just swiveling around one after the other and heading back. But there was no police stopping us or directing us or anything.
And did you or any other cars that you saw come under attack yourself?
No, I mean, everyone was kind of just watching the fire. I didn't see any violence, any protesters. There was hundreds of people just standing around. And they were also just letting us go. It was just very strange.
Yeah, what you're describing sounds quite surreal.
Yeah, it was. It was surreal.
And so, the shop that you saw, or the building that you saw that was on fire, is that the same one or a different one that we've been looking at on our television screens this evening?
Well, probably the first one you saw was a different one because it was closer to the back end, I think. It was really snowing quite heavy, and we kind of saw smoke from a distance, but it wasn't a fire when we got. It was just a huge fire. We could have driven straight up to it, I think.
And what time was this?
It was about 15 minutes now. It was not long ago at all.
Oh, right. Okay, so there's... Okay, so what you're describing is a different building, because the one that we've been looking at and hearing about was a corner building in the midst of the conflagration. But you're describing something completely... an entirely different building.
It wasn't entirely. I mean, there weren't any protesters, no police, no fire engines. It looked like the start of it, but it actually exploded quite out of control quite quickly. And we just saw a bunch of people kind of coming towards it, but no rioting, no police, nothing like that at all.
Right. Well, thanks very much for making that call, Amina.
You're welcome.
And I'm glad that you got out of that unscathed.
Yes, we're out now. Yeah.
All right, good.
All right.
Your experience this evening, please. 0845 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nica@lbc.co.uk, and if you have a Twitter account, it's @lbc973. We do have a website, by the way, where you can see the photographs that we have amassed so far, which will be updated as we get more. and the address of the website is lbc.co.uk. So if you have experience of this, if you've seen anything, if you'd like to pass on your stories of your experiences this evening in and around the area, or if you have experience of the area ordinarily, if you have an idea of what it's like to live there, what the relationship between the citizens in Tottenham and the people who police Tottenham are, then the number is the same, 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott.
LBC 97.3.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are.
There's a force at work across the world, helping businesses of all sizes grow to achieve their potential. Visit the international specialists at dhl.co.uk. DHL Express. Excellence simply delivered.
Life's full of mysteries. Why do Mondays feel longer than Fridays? Where do all those odd socks go? Thankfully, energy doesn't have to be a mystery. Energy Smart from British Gas is a free monitor and free online service. It lets you see exactly what you're using and could help you save energy and money. Find out more at britishgas.co.uk/energy smart. Look after your world with British Gas. Exclude selected tariffs.
Take a test drive with the difference, the smart way. It'll cut through all your assumptions about a car. Turn left, turn right, on a grand slalom between giant ice cream cones, sitting in a space that's bigger inside than out. School ease through impossible gaps, zig down the alley, zag through the archway, shimmy round the island and park on a postage stamp. How smart is that? Find out this weekend.
Visit smarttestdrives.co.uk to find your participating smart retailer. Park all your preconceptions and take a test drive with the difference. Smart. Open your mind.
Are you happy with your hair health? Over time, our age and lifestyle can impact the growth of our hair. Vitabiotics Tricologic tablets, available in formulas for men or women, have been specially designed to maintain healthy hair from within. Tricologic hair supplements from Vitabiotics, available from Boots, pharmacies and health stores.
This is LBC 97.3, news time 12:30.
From the LBC News Centre, I'm Alex Stavanovich. Riots in Tottenham this evening have escalated. Police and protesters are involved in disturbances which started at around 8:15 last night. Fireworks have been thrown, 2 police cars, 2 premises, including a shop and a bus, were set alight. The protest was over the death of 29-year-old Mark Duggan, who was shot and killed by police on Thursday. Around 300 people were at the scene on Tottenham High Road. Jimmy, who owns an off-licence in the area, says they tried to get into his shop.
I spoke to the people who can't come in, or the shop is closed. But on the other side, I'm thinking if I don't let them in, then they're going to start attacking me as well.
Metropolitan Police Authority member Cindy Butts expressed her views to LBC earlier.
I think it's a real tragedy that, you know, that peaceful protest and demonstration should end up in the way that it has this evening, as we're watching throughout our TV screen.
Stay with LBC as we bring you more on this news throughout the evening. London's travel because of the problems in Tottenham. The High Road is closed in both directions between Monument Way and Bruce Grove. London's weather overnight, most places will stay quite dry this evening with lows of 13 degrees. Right now it's 14 degrees in Leicester Square. LBC, it's 12:31.
LBC 97.3. Call 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Nick Abbott.
Nick Majerison is after the news at 1 o'clock, and he joins me now.
Hello, Nick Abbott. So, a peaceful demonstration in Tottenham this evening turns into violence and what some people have described as a riot. I'm going to be asking in half an hour's time from now whether or not there is tension where you live, wherever that might be. So if you were to test the wind in the area where you were, would you find that it was strong winds and worrying times, or is this just a localized problem effectively? Because I've been hearing you, Nick, saying to people, this time last week, if you live in Tottenham, were you thinking to yourself, there's a real problem, a sense of danger in the air, and there's been mixed responses to that. But I personally have picked up on a kind of increasing vibe of tension generally in London.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, largely when you come into central London, maybe I'm just imagining, I don't know, I mean, I've been talking about it on the show for the past few months, that I just get a feeling that firstly, I mean, on a practical level, more people are stopping you and asking for, well, stopping me anyway, and asking me for spare change. And secondly,
I can't remember the last time somebody asked me for spare change.
Really? Then again, you don't walk around central London, do you? You come in on your helicopter, you show this.
Yeah, that's right. I commute by helicopter.
Well, maybe it's the time of day. I mean, this is
I am actually Noel Edmonds.
Obviously, when I finish the show around about would be 5:30, or when I started at LBC, and I would leave the building in the morning. It was, it's early morning in central London, so it's always been a bit sort of spicy, so to speak, a bit dangerous. Anywhere in central London at that time of the morning, be aware of where you are.
Yeah.
Now, I
feel more secure here than I did at Ladbroke Grove, where we used to be.
Yes, I actually came for a meeting there, and that was pretty hardcore. But I don't know. I think
I parked my car underneath a security camera that was pointing directly at it.
Yeah.
And it was underneath a street lamp, illuminated as bright as the moon in the sky, and it still got broken into.
Well, the thing is with these kinds of changes is it is possible to deceive yourself, right? It is possible to get drawn up into the hysteria of world events and think to yourself, oh yeah, definitely the tension is increasing, right? It might not be. This just might be my own value judgment. I might be just, I might be just imagining this. I'm totally open to that possibility. But I'll give you another example. You get the Hare Krishnas who wander around every now and then, chanting Hare Krishna. I've never in my life seen them booed and jeered. But I saw that today.
Really?
Yeah. What? I know. What's that about?
What, those nice people with the orange...
Yeah, they're all going Hare Krishna, and they walk around Leicester Square and stuff, and it's, I've never in my life seen them booed and jeered by a group of yobs, but there we go, that was just as I was coming in.
Right.
But that's one of many examples that and maybe I'm oversensitive to it, I don't know, we'll find out when we
That's
get
what
there.
everybody says about you, is you're very sensitive.
Well, I feel like I'm observant, I'm interested in the world.
Have you observed that they've actually, taking a left turn here for a moment, have you noticed, as I have, that they've actually got another tune now?
The Hare Krishnas?
Yes. No, I've never heard them. I've seen them many, many times, and it never fails to bring joy. But it's always the same song, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But just recently, and the people that I was with, we all looked at each other with amazement because we had never seen them march with to a different tune.
They've got a new one?
Apparently so.
Who's written that?
I've got no idea. I'll check.
Yeah, find out. Well, on the subject of other things that I'm going to turn my hand to as the show goes along, how about this? Can you ever be 100% sure of anything? We'll be getting into that question. There are some people who believe that you can't. I'm one of those people. I don't think I'm sure of anything at all. Every decision I make, I'm always open to the possibility that I could be completely and utterly wrong.
Are you sure about that?
Well, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it?